in my journey of Alone Together, my wife has been my manager.
Yeah.
Because she's amazing at managing things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chiki can manage a restaurant. Chiki can manage anything you give her to manage. She'll manage.
Yeah.
So she started managing me, and it totally flipped everything, and it made me love her even more.
How did you know? At what point did you determine that Chiki was that one, the one?
I'll be honest, Yanni. I'm lucky. I made a calculated guess. And she happened to really be the one.
Yeah.
You know, I met Chiki, and within a month of meeting her, we were already like deep in love. I'd never met a woman like Chiki. Everything I admired about, or everything I didn't find in my previous relationships, I found in her, man. She's a reader. She talks. She's really helped me grow as a human being.
Wow.
In a sense that when you're dating someone who doesn't speak Swahili, at least now she understands, but Chiki's Nigerian. So her coming to Kenya for the first time means that all our conversations are in English. And that just made me a more global human being. I was able to now, because I wasn't expressing myself in English all the time. And you know, as all African men, after 10 p.m., I go back to factory settings and I only speak Swahili.
Yeah.
So that really helped me grow. And then also like, when I met Chiki, I was in a place where I was, I think 27. And I was like, no chicks in my life. I want to focus on my career. I hadn't had my heart broken or anything. But I just wasn't getting value, man. I was having empty sex. I was just having those moments of emptiness that I didn't know what to feel with. And she filled that void perfectly.
Wow.
And I knew I wanted to marry Chiki actually, like maybe a month into the relationship. I was like, I'm going to stay with this chick. She gets me. She gets it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and there's been so many rough patches, but I would do it again. Yeah, I would marry her again. But in the unlikely event we're not together, I would never get married again. It's too much work.
Yeah.
You can't imagine. So,
I can't imagine starting over with somebody else.
yeah.
You know,
You've already reached this.
You've reached such a, and it's not even, we've only gone, how many, 8 years now.
Yeah.
So I'll just rewind the clock just a little bit. So before you met Chiki, right?
Yeah.
What tools did you have to get for you to identify Chiki?
None.
It just happened.
None. No books. No what. The only thing, the tools I had were movies selling me rom-coms and selling me romantic things.
Yeah.
And music, listening to music, giving me illusions of who the person I should be with is. You know, I didn't even think my views on marriage were not the same.
Yeah.
It was just.
How did you even meet?
Outside a Talib Kweli concert. On Museum Hill. Yeah, and she was with one of my boys, Emmanuel Jambo, the photographer. Yeah, man, a great guy too. And actually, I thought she was Emmanuel's date. So it just turns out she was not. Yeah, and then we just started vibing, and from the first day I met her, like I'm telling you,
You just
even though we didn't label let's not label the relationship, blah blah blah.
You knew.
It was very clear.
Yeah, I like that you said that you didn't actually overcomplicate it. You just said there was no pre-work. I want to know, and I think if there's anyone that can like express this, it's like an artist, right? What does love actually feel like? Because I have no idea. Like what does it feel like?
Love is when it's not work. When you do something for someone, or when you do something to make other people feel good, and you don't feel like you're working, that's love. When you do it because you want a reaction from them, or you want them to feel a certain type of way, it's not love. And I stand to be corrected. You know, I have this thing with Chiki still, where we work together now. So she's like, our working time has to be very separate. Not even she's like, we're like, our working time has to be separate from the time we spend together.
Yeah.
But after shooting the whole week of the podcast, on that Saturday, we went for Polycap's launch at Social House. And thereafter, I wanted to go out with my boys. And she was like, but we said we're going to go for a movie. And I'm like, babe, I've been with you the whole week.
Yeah.
So I realized also, man, that love is quality time. And what's quality time? Quality time is not the time you spend away from work. It's all the time you're together.
Yeah.
So you need to work on yourselves to always make sure that this is quality time you're spending.
Yeah.
Because I told them, man, the kind of things we've been doing this week, we're in the podcast, listening to Oscar speak.
Yeah.
That's quality time.
Yeah.
We are learning, man.
it's a
And we are both like, ooh, hey,
Yeah.
whoa. That is quality time. You're telling me to go watch a movie with you. I may not be there physically.
Right.
Sorry, spiritually or emotionally, but I'm there physically. So you want to hang out with the cops?
Yeah.
Or do you want to, hang out with somebody who's like, giving you the same energy and engaged?
Yeah.
So love for me is making all the time quality time and doing things that are natural to you that don't feel like work. So don't start over here. If you're a guy who doesn't, these mistakes I made in my relationship, I used to cook a lot for Chiki. I don't cook anymore. So she's like, she always makes fun of me. Like, the last time you cooked for me was like 4 years ago on Valentine's.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the relationship, I was fronting.
Yeah. You're playing a role.
Yeah.
You can't really keep.
That is not love.
Yeah.
You're building illusions based on, a man should be able to cook a meal for chicks. No. Just be yourself from the beginning. Attract your kind. You realize if you don't like to cuddle, then you'll find a chick who doesn't like to be cuddled with.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. Rather than pretending you like to cuddle with a numb hand, and then 4 years down the line you're like, man, I don't want to cuddle anymore. You're seeing someone else. It's not. You changed cars.
Yeah. So just finding natural.
So just doing everything that's natural, that feels natural to you.
Yeah.
Of course, with compromise and all these things, but doing things that feel natural to you.
Yeah. This is, bruh, let me tell you, that's incredible. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to move towards our last segment. And before I do that, I think there's a very important question to ask you as well, which is, especially now as men, what do you think, and the question of love, what do you think women misunderstand about men and love in relationships? What do you think is the most misunderstood thing, since you've been in a relationship for such a long time? What's the misunderstood thing women kind of don't understand when it comes to men in relationships, in your own experience?
I'd say there's a huge trust issue in general because of the whole monogamy thing. Like there's a wanting to own the other person. I think it goes both ways. Like your chick wants to own you and be, we're all about control as human beings. And we're selfish. So you think your chick wants to own you, but you want to own your chile. You want to own your wife. You don't want her to do something. No, don't do that. Don't, And I think in a relationship, you must allow everybody to just be who they want to be without really owning them. And that's where you start doing things you don't want to do. Showing up for a baby shower. This guy this is a corpse. This guy would rather be drinking with his. That's how he would be happy. Let him go there where he's happy. If he's happy when I'm in a situation where my wife feels secure, but you also have to give security to your partner. I think I'm happiest and she's happiest when we feel secure. And that doesn't happen often in relationships. It's just people bending over backwards for the other and compromising this for the other.
But it has to be mutual. You have to meet at a center.
Did I ask the question again?
You answered the question.
But ask it again.
No, the question I asked you was...
misconception.
Misconceptions that men undergo when it comes to love and relationships.
And that's the first misconception. And then another misconception that men have to fix in their brains is that, guys, your wife or your chick is also getting attracted to other dudes the same way you're attracted to other chicks, okay? So if you're walking around, you're checking out us and you're doing your thing, please expect nothing less from your chick, and don't be surprised if she does that, because that's the energy you're putting into your feeding relationship. So don't be surprised if she does that. And just understand that we're in a place now where this is not the era of, we're not in the 80s where if you leave your chick, she has nowhere to go. Because she was busy raising the kids when you were chasing your career. No, man. Women now have options. Women now have amazing careers. Women now are making more money than us.
Yeah.
You get?
That security.
But me, Bien, I'm not going to endorse that statement.
No. I'm
Because
just
you
saying.
you said this in your song. Are you looking for trouble?
Bien-Aime is a no-go zone.
And here you are saying things.
No, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not telling anybody to go out there and cheat or do anything like that. No, I don't endorse that behavior. And I don't exonerate myself from it either. It could be me tomorrow.
Yes,
I'm having my human experience.
Yes.
Let me make my mistakes as well.
Yeah.
But your partner is not here because they don't have options.
Exactly.
They're here because they want to be with you.
Exactly.
So make the experience good. Make the experience worth your while. Like, let them live, knowing that they are secure and they are loved.
Yes.
As opposed to just being there, being a shady,
Yeah, don't be shady. Nenda Lote is another song on that album.
But we also but all men are shady.
No! Are you shady? Bien, are you shady?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, to the nth degree. I can't say I'm not a shady guy. Even all of these things I'm telling you, even some of them I still haven't gone over them. Like, you want to tell me I still would pretend a little bit to like something for my wife? I will, but there's gonna,
it's not a perfect situation.
It's
Don't
not a
look for
perfect
perfection
situation.
in relationships. In the interest of time.
We have time. Let's go. Let's do another 20 minutes.
Yeah, keep going. Let's keep going. I like that you're enjoying yourself. I'll ask you another question now. And this is based on how to manage, especially yourself in a relationship as a man, right? How do you keep your individuality? Have you had that trouble of keeping your individuality kind of separate from someone else? Because sometimes you can feel like, because you're a large musician, you attract a lot of attention, you have a certain personality and a certain brand. How do you keep that alive and whole while still maintaining a relationship that's fruitful? And I will quote another one of your songs. People will. I will quote your songs because I'm here to be a fan. People are constantly investigating you like the police. People are constantly investigating you and not minding their business. So how do you keep that kind of that pull you have away from harming this beautiful thing that you managed to create with Chiki?
What I do consciously is I just consciously try not to really. I know I've spoken about my wife for 90% of this interview because that's the only experience I can give. That's the only point I can stand from. But I don't want to live my life being answerable to society about my relationship. So I don't really post. I'll post her birthday. I don't really give my relationship on social media like that.
Wise, very wise.
Yeah, because when you give your life to the socials. You're gonna have to take that picture smiling even when you're fighting.
Yeah. Then it's just.
Yeah, because the sponsors have paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's make this money, baby.
Yeah, baby, that's the money. And I've seen couples in the industry who do that. Like they come on set, they're in bad terms, but they take a picture and they're like, and I'm like,
there's something.
Yeah. So me, I'll just say like, I try and keep.
But what do you say when you see it? You go, hey.
And it looks believable on the camera. That's why I don't want to sell anything ever in my life that's not believable, that I don't believe myself. If me and Chiki ever take a picture and it's online, but those are our simplest moments. They're dressed down. We don't have any makeup on. We're in our backyard. We are ourselves. I really try not to gloss up my relationship and make it look like it's this perfect thing to society. There's no perfect relationship, but that's what society is going to hold you to
accountable.
And then second, in my relationship, I've had to find time for myself. There is no growth if you're not growing as a person, and people lose themselves in relationships. You find this other person and you're so in love with them, you forget for a minute why you're on this earth. You start taking them out on dates and giving them experiences you wouldn't even give yourself.
Right, yeah.
My God.
One day.
There are places I've taken chicks I've never gone, I would never go there if it's just Bien. And why?
Yeah.
Why should I be going to destinations with other people when I would never take myself there. You know, so that's just, you know, those kinds of things. Understanding yourself allows you also to be better in the relationship in a sense that, my last example with my wife.
Chicky.
That's my
you have a hold on this man.
No, that's the only reference point. I don't want to use my exes.
That's a different podcast.
I kid. But you know, when we started dating, I don't do anything on Sunday. And Sunday is my day. Like, leave me alone. But Chiki is an outgoing human being. She wants to go to Karura and run on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not in the house all day Sunday because I have a hangover from Saturday. No.
Yeah.
I came home on Saturday evening and slept early in advance to wake up on Sunday at 8
and be with me.
Yeah, and then drink jabba, smoke a doobie, watch TV, listen to music, just be and you just have a moment there.
Yeah.
That's my church.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know how to communicate that to my wife because she was always telling me to do things in the beginning, and I was like, okay. Then I go to a brunch somewhere. And I'm bored, and I'm tired, I'm yawning, and I'm sleepy.
I could be in pajamas.
You know. And I didn't communicate that very well.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I eventually said it, of course there was a tiff because I pretended for a minute to want to do, you know.
Yeah.
And it became a moment where we were always, fighting about. But now she understands me. Like, she's like, yo, I get this guy wants to be alone at this time. Okay. And just sometimes just being blatantly honest. I've come from an event.
Yeah.
People have been talking at me the whole time.
Yeah.
Or maybe I've performed. And 9 out of 10 times when I come back home in the evening after something like that, I want to sit in a quiet room alone.
Yeah.
My phone is off, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram, nothing is playing, no music. I'm just sitting there like this.
Decompressing.
Decompressing. Like, just wooza. If that's the time Chiki really wants to talk about feminism, there'll be a fight. Not that I don't care about feminism. I'm a feminist myself.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
But at that time,
it's the
worst time. So know your partner enough to give them space.
Yeah.
Likewise, even my chick needs space. Sometimes she just doesn't come home. She's like, yo, I've gone to Annalise's place, one of her friends' place, just to have that girl time, you know. I'm like, yeah, cool, enjoy.
The key I'm getting here is just like honesty.
Honesty is
just
really
less stress,
key, man.
from the beginning.
The first time I was ever really honest was in a counseling session. That's the first time I said, like, yo, man, I don't think marriage works for me. It's blah, blah, blah. I said all those things. And after I said everything that I said, I felt better. I was like, okay, now I'm ready to continue this marriage.
Now that it's out there.
Now that you all know.
Yeah, and then on your way home, though, like after counseling, also you need to be careful not to, because you're in the room with your...
The car drive back.
The car drive back can be weird if you say something.
It was cool. It was someone that sat at the edge.
So you really need to also measure your words in there. But be honest, guys. Be extremely honest. Be honest. The honesty is just so refreshing in a relationship.
There's a calmness.
I even feel like even in life, man, like even me, that's how I try to live my life. Like even me, I don't like the nonsense,
posturing,
the posturing. I hate it.
I
like it to be, we're doing this, let's do this.
Don't pretend.
And it gets things done. You know, that's also the other thing.
Agreed.
It gets things done. Like if let's say I'm in a situation where I just honestly don't want to spend time with you, because even me on my Sundays, even me, I'm like that. Like I lock myself literally in the room and I put the curtains down and I'm like, and that's how I get my strength back. Like even me, phone calls at that time, Sunday, dinners at that time. Who's leave me alone.
I'm similar. Sundays I do solo dates. I take myself, I put a podcast in, I eat good food, then I go home and sleep. That's my thing as well. Just solitude.
That's solitude.
Solitude is beautiful, man. And if you don't know yourself, in solitude, you have no business being in a relationship.
Trust
with anybody.
You
know, if you're constantly with someone and they always want to do something, yo, let's go for a movie, let's do this, let's go on a date, let's go do. There's somebody who doesn't know how to be by themselves. Red flag.
And trying to drag you into their insecurities.
It's a red flag.
Mad red flag. Anybody who doesn't know how to be an individual
Yeah.
should not be in a relationship.
That's true. Because they're going to drain you.
They're going to drain you, man. It's not me coming with 50 and then you coming with 50 to make 100. It's 200s to make 200%. So feel your 100 to as much as you can, to your 73, to your 80, to your whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you 20%.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, like I'm not coming here to be your 50%.
Yeah. Like me.
It shouldn't be 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + it should be 1 + 1 is 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, please.
Individual and then
He's about to do something.
I love it. Because he's taken us to our great debates.
The biggest debate on this.
The great debates. Now, Bien, I'm of the school of thought, right? That this whole thing about relationships, you should go actualize yourself, reach the peak of your potential, meet someone also who's on a similar journey and is either peaking or close to that, and then now you come together and then you build something beautiful. What is your point of view?
Let me give my case,
Okay.
lawyer. So my thing is,
Yeah.
okay, on the emotional side, on like the psychological side, that's fine. Yeah, do your own thing. But my issue is I want to meet somebody before I start achieving what I want to achieve. I want to do the whole building the empire together rather than meeting when I've already done it. And from your face, I can see you're on Oscar side already.
No. I think you're both right.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Because Oscar is about the journey of finding yourself, and then you meet someone who is also on the journey of finding themselves, right?
Yeah, he wants to meet there.
And you're about meeting this amazing human being right now and wanting to go on the journey together.
Yeah.
Both of those things are correct. The journey of finding yourself never stops. It never stops. You're going to be finding yourself. I talk to my mom right now, and she's 65. And she talks to me as if she's 25, like as if she's just found her, herself.
Yeah.
She's like, she wants to do things with mental health. I'm like, this is a new career path for my mom. Like when I'm looking at her journey of self-discovery, I realize even, by the way, it's just being an African woman that really held her back. She would have really my mom had exponential potential to be amazing. So the downside of that also is that you may not find a supportive partner.
Right.
You may find a partner who doesn't, if for example you are invested in a career, that means you travel a lot. If you're an athlete, if you're an artist, it means you're selfish. Because you have to have a certain degree of solitude, 1, and 2, a lot of time goes and dedication goes to your craft. And if your partner doesn't understand that, they just want quality time all the time, then there you won't grow together. If you have appetite to go around the world in a Land Rover, but your wife wants to stay at home and doesn't want to go on that journey with you, you can't really blame her for not wanting to go in tricky toilet situations all over the continent. You get? So there's a danger to that. Because people also change. However, also in this other side, the whole thing of meeting somebody who's also on their journey of self-discovery is an illusion. It's an illusion, man.
Really?
Yeah, you don't meet somebody who has discovered themselves. The energy you give is the energy you get. At whatever point you're going to be at, you're going to find somebody who is trying to figure themselves out. But you're better off with somebody who's trying to figure themselves out than someone who isn't. That's the bottom line.
So there's a book I'm reading at the moment, the Will Smith book, right? Because that's the side
Hey,
of
that guy, man.
it's so incredible. I recommend it highly. So that's like the emotional side, the self-development. But there's something he says in the book, and he says to anybody that is like a dreamer that wants to achieve the heights that he's achieved, he says the one thing you have to realize is that everything comes secondary to the goal. So that's the emotional side. I want to now talk about like monetary and like career, etc. And the same debate we're having now on that side. Like, do you think it's better to meet somebody when you're striving for your goal, like materially and career-wise, or do you think it's better to meet them after you've sort of achieved that?
All I can say is sign a prenup. There's no, because I don't think I will achieve the things I'm about to achieve with my career. I don't think I will achieve if I didn't meet my wife.
Someone said this yesterday.
She's really come through for me, like on the management side of things.
Right.
In an amazing way. So there's that side of things. And then also there's a whole other side of being like Chris Kirubi,
Yeah.
where you're just a self-made man.
Yeah.
Maybe you have kids. I never ever saw his family on TV or anything. Him, he's just been a guy who believes in that solitude. But I think the older you get, the more you realize that having a partner is not just about your money or your career or your anything. It's, you could wake up in the morning and your voice is gone. You can't do a podcast again because you have some weird thing on your larynx and you need to be quiet for a year. You need somebody there to tell you every day, don't worry, babe, you'll be okay, you know? That's what you need at that time. So that even it becomes, your career becomes secondary. You know, if I go paralyzed right now, is this chick going to wipe my ass because I don't have an ass?
Yeah.
You know, if I break my legs and I can't leave the house, am I going to send this person to the kitchen 10 times and they don't feel like it's a burden?
True. Yeah.
Am I going to be there? Is this person going to be there for me in times where our money can't bail us from this situation?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Damn.
Jeez.
So you have to pick the right one, is what I'm saying. Jesus Christ.
There's no, and then man, I'm telling you, just be honest. And picking the right one. I'm saying you really have to vet yourself before you go into that institution called marriage. Msiende kuoana tafadhali, my friend. How old are you now?
29.
You have no business.
No, really?
You have no business.
The way I wanted it 2 years ago.
No. I know. Even me, I had that thing when I was 28, where the world made me broody.
Yeah.
Don't get married, bro.
The world made you broody.
And I wanted kids, and I wanted the picket fences and everything.
Yeah.
And I just realized, man, there's so much, you know, that entails marriage. And then, like, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. The chick will just show up. You'll know, even if you'll fight it, you'll know. I've fought it so many times, but I know there's no way I'm going. This is the chick.
Man.
That's given me some like calmness.
Damn.
Don't go out looking for love either. I see people going out there looking for relationship. People in Nairobi are serially going to clubs to look for their next partner.
Yeah.
Like intentionally.
Yeah,
They wake up
putting
in the
themselves
morning.
out. Like,
They wake up in the morning.
leo naenda bar next door. Naenda kutafuta Dave.
I'm coming, baby.
Because you think maybe in your friendship group, all your friends are in a relationship. I was there too. There's a time Polycarp was in a relationship, Savara was in a relationship, Chimano was in a relationship. I'm the only one who was in a relationship. I kid you not. The number of chicks I dated for 1 month thinking they're the ones were so many.
Yeah.
Can I make a request? Can you make a song for men like me that are trying to rush into something? Tell us to slow down.
Just slow down. Even not men, even women.
Relax,
Because the women the most.
Take it
Women most. Because women, when you get married and you get pregnant, your career just stops there for a minute. Unless you really want to keep on Serena Williams in it.
Yeah.
But you don't know what complications can be there in pregnancy and stuff like that. And you want to have 3 kids, you want to have 2 kids. That's a solid 4 or 5 years. That you're out of the game. That then you see chicks who you studied with in uni are winning, breaking boundaries in the world. And life is just about that, trying to find that balance. Because even the chick who's winning wants kids like you.
Facts.
But you have kids and you're like, I want so you just really need to have a sober mind.
Slow down, calculate.
Making that commitment.
Yes. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you completely.
I think we've come to an agreement here. I think that we might have come to
he has mediated.
Yes, very well.
Guys, don't be nervous.
I'm telling you, podcasting, Bien, we're good at it.
Not going anywhere. I see guys who are married from the time a guy is 40 until the guy is 80. And it's a good marriage.
Still 40 years, right?
People who, friend of mine who was in a relationship, got a divorce, did that thing from getting married when you're 24. Because you have it all figured out. And then it just didn't work well, man. And then he's now remarried again at 38. And you're seeing like these are 2
happier.
sober people coming together.
Yeah.
They understand the concept of life a lot more.
Yeah.
So don't buy the Lamborghini.
Wait a minute.
You have to understand that you need to. And if you're buying the Lamborghini now, understand the concept of the maintenance of the Lamborghini. Because all marriages and relationships are just work, even though they feel like they're supposed to not feel like work.
I've learned.
I've learned a ton.
Learned a ton.
Bien, I have to ask you the final question.
All right.
I have to now ask you. You have imparted such wisdom.
I hope.
This set
Sensei.
This is going to be the lowest ranking episode. It was so shallow.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So we have this tradition on Mantalk where we ask our guests to recommend a book, a film, a quote, or a piece of content that they've enjoyed that they think would develop our audience. So what is that piece of content for you, Bien?
This year, I haven't watched much of TV. And honestly, I only watch cartoons. I only watch cartoons, even if it's like adult cartoons like BoJack, because like life is too serious, man. But I think I would recommend a book called Humans. It's just it talks about the human race and how the billions of years of growth we've had.
But is that Yuval Noah Harari?
I don't know if it's Yuval Noah Harari. Jesus Christ! What's a Ferrari doing here? Because when actually beautiful thing that I wasn't reading as much, and then Eric Omondi stole my phone, as you saw. Okay, no, he did.
Sorry about that.
I lost my phone on New Year's. And then I wanted to buy a new phone, and I had to order it from abroad. That would take 10 days. So I had a kabambe for $1 million. And the only place I could find entertainment, because I was, for 10 days, I'd gone on holiday with Chiki to Nanyuki and then to Lamu, was reading books. So I read 2 books. And I'll recommend those ones. Yeah, there's the Humans book, and there's the other one called Bengaman. Yeah, Bengaman is a book by a Kenyan writer. I'll actually just send you guys pictures of the books themselves, so that you can
put the link or something for people.
Yeah, put the link. A Kenyan writer who Chiki met in Village Market, and he was like, "Wow, man, I'm a writer." Chiki was like, "Yo, let me buy these books for Bien because they're about music," and it's a story of a Benga musician from Kisumu, and how he just became the most prolific artist of his time. But I've never read a book that really connects with me like that in my life, as a musician. And I'm actually thinking of exploring more and making it a series. So I haven't reached out to the guy yet, but after reading the book, I finished reading it on Sunday during my me time. And I'm like, I really would love for this book to be a TV series.
That'll be inspiring. Like seeing
That's
that
incredible.
journey, right?
Wow.
Amazing. Bien, thank you so much. We've learned about love today. That was a
also, guys, I want to recommend a podcast.
A podcast.
Yeah, this one.
Hey, come on.
Like, share, subscribe.
Subscribe,
time.
like, share, subscribe. This is where the love is. And then also go catch my Bald Man podcast.
Yes.
Oscar is featured in heavily. I'm running out of bald man. I need to call you soon.
Yeah, let me know. Maybe it could be.
But you need to shave your balls. I'm kidding. Something must go off.
Maybe bald head.
Okay. I'll take that. I'm kidding. But go check out the podcast too, just for the wisdom that was impacted by the different speakers I invited on the panels. And it
was crazy. I saw it was crazy.
So thank you for the time, and thank you for everything you've done for like the music industry in Kenya, and like for young guys, and like we were talking with Oscar, like the amount of people you've made to dance and feel good. We just want to say thank you for doing that for such a long period of time. Thank you and the boys.
I think that's what love is.
Let me let you know something. So when I was going through your work, there's a quote, I don't remember where I read it, but I'll say it anyway. Human decisions, right? Our human actions often go beyond our consciousness as human beings. And the actions that you've made over time have had so much consequence that they're even beyond your own perception, beyond your own feeling, beyond your own understanding of the dimensions of the work that you've done.
Wow.
And you might think that it's just because my generation is probably 2-3 generations behind yours, but even my son and the sons after him will listen to your music.
Hey, damn, man. I feel like crying.
But legit. Because the amount of impact, and I told you this, I've told you this severally, even my musical ear to date has been inspired largely by Sauti Sol's work, in your writing. And I recognize it. Whenever
much appreciated, Benny. I live for this. Man, in everything I do, I just want to be. I want to immortalize our experience on art, in art. It could be in songs, it could be in books, it could be in a podcast. But when the guys of the year 3000 stumble upon this podcast, they'll view us as such forward-thinking people. And also like me, I just want to big you guys up because your podcast has come alive in a time when it's much needed. The mental health conversation was not has always been a necessary conversation, but didn't have anybody championing for it even 5 years ago. And as humans, we've come to a place where we've mastered our anatomy. And we can heal all these things in our anatomy, but we can never heal our minds.
So true.
And this is the beginning of us guys healing our minds.
Wow, thank you.
And what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And it's positive to see that. Also, it's also dudes who are just in touch with their emotions, man.
Yeah.
So I want to let you know that I love you both.
Thank you, bro.
I love you
and
too,
I want
buddy.
you to do this like your life depends on it. I'm glad you quit your job for this.
Yes, 100%.
And yes. Keep your lawyer side hustle thing going.
Which is a side hustle.
You guys are gonna need to read contracts. So the lawyer side hustle thing, keep it going. This is your calling. There's a difference between calling and actually what you want to do. So this is your calling. Keep it here.
I will. Thank you so much.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as well. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, and all the links, etc., are going to be down below. See you next week for episode 2 of Mantalk.ke. Peace.
Aroro.
Batoni ya shati imekuka bako.